guys, Miranda Manticos here, psychic channeler, spiritual teacher. Okay, so I wanted to put this message together, and I'm going to do the best I can to say it in a loving way. Sorry guys, I'm doing this from my car today. I'm parked in my car because I'm home with the kids, and it's like the only quiet place. So they know Mama's recording. Hopefully they'll let me get this done. Okay. All right. So if you suffer from arthritis or any chronic pain, okay, any type of chronic pain, 44, as I said that, okay, I want to give you a message from Archangel Michael that came through today, okay? So he said, I'm going to tell you what he said, and then I'm going to tell you why this came up, okay? Because it's going to translate into another message. So he said, and this was channeled through one of my children. Both my children are channelers. They have very strong angelic connection and get clear messages, as I have from the time I was very young. Until I was religiously sidetracked, okay, which like derailed me for so many years. But anyway, you can go check out some of my other posts about religious distortion and how that interferes with the true self. But I was really in pain this morning, severe pain, and trying to push through it, you know, like get up, cook breakfast, take care of everybody, do all the things, right? And then I still have work today. But I was literally hurting so bad I couldn't do it anymore. And my sons, who are amazing men, they really are, okay, already immediately felt the need to help mommy, right? And they know that talking to the angels is what I'm going to want to do, because I want to know why I'm hurting this way, right? Or what's going on, or I want an answer about what to do. Feel some light language coming through this too. So if I move my hands, I'm giving you light, okay? 222, as I said that. All right, so both of them worked on me. Both of them did sessions from their angels, which they are very different, but extremely powerful, okay? Okay, so Michael said, Archangel Michael said, if you have arthritis or any kind of chronic pain, this is an attack from dark ritual, okay? You are being targeted by darkness if you are suffering with chronic pain, okay? He said, he gave a message to women, okay? And then he's also going to give a message to men. So what I'm about to say is coming from love, okay? He said, women, stand your ground. Stand your ground in the little battles. And what he means by this is the oppression that we think we're fighting, okay? And it's real, okay? But what we're seeing on the political scene and on the world scene is like the big stuff, right? What he's talking about is the little battles, 333, as I said that, the little battles that are derailing you from your sovereignty as a woman, okay? And what he means is, how much work are you doing daily for your entire family, okay, that a man is not doing? And he doesn't mean this in like a derogatory way, so he specifically talked about men as well. But first, he said, women, stand your ground. First, that's what he said. He said the daughters of God are standing first. They are facing the 7 egos. They are cleaning the temple. They are going through the shadows, feeling the pain, awakening. This is why they're being attacked. Okay? And he said the men, and I don't mean every man, okay, because I know a lot of great men. My husband, several really good guy friends that I have that are doing the sacred work with us, okay? But in general, most are letting women do all the work. And what I mean by that is the real, deep, emotional work, 444, as I said that, to heal themselves and their inner wounds, okay, in order to heal humanity. So because women are taking the brunt of this right now, and we always have, we've always gone into our feelings and gone into our caves to deal with our feelings and face these shadows, that's why we have been the most oppressed, okay? The feminine energy, because it was willing to see, it was willing to go into the darkness, it was willing to know, okay? Because we wanted to understand and be able to try to fix it and help. If your male counterpart, okay, and I don't mean, this could even be like in same-sex marriages, okay, or same-sex partnerships. This is not about man versus woman, okay, as much as it is, how do you want to say it, St. Michael? Well, it kind of is, okay, he says it kind of is man versus woman in the sense that there are men, okay, so I'm sorry, he's saying more about this. If you look at all the men in the world, okay, in general, I hate to generalize because there are so many wonderful people. So guys, if you're a wonderful, kind, loving, gentle man, this message is not for you, okay? I'm talking about a generalization. But in general, men have benefited from the oppression of women, even in the little bitty ways, okay? Think about you as a woman. Like if you are a woman in a relationship with a man, okay? So this would be a specific type of partnership, not necessarily a same-sex partnership, okay? If you're in a relationship with a man and you have worked all day, 8 hours like your husband or your boyfriend, okay? Or this could even be like a roommate situation, okay? And you've gone all day doing the same amount of work as a man. And then you get home and you pick up the torch of the home and you carry that entire thing. Do you see the extortion here? Cleaning, cooking, tending to children, doing all of the homemaking, but you're also working. It's not a shared responsibility. Okay. Now let's go one deeper, because I know there's men that are going to come say, well, I do all that too. I help my wife with the housework. Okay, good. But what you didn't know was that she was your family's spiritual healer, that she was battling in the spirit with the fire of God every day for you, your children, and humanity. Okay. So this woman who's in your life, and now let's go extended in this message outside of relationships. Okay. Your female friends, guys, your mothers, your sisters, your daughters, your friendships who are female, these women, with or without their knowledge, have been being attacked by satanic ritual. And it's causing them chronic pain in one way or another. And they're bearing this pain alone because the men haven't done the work to spiritually awaken. Okay. And I know some of you have. I'm saying this as lovingly as I can, but not enough. There's not enough yet. And it's so bad that the women, I feel like this, what do you guys want to call it? I'm asking the collective of feminine consciousness. What do you want to call it? It's like oppression of the female voice. It's because it's easier for them to just ignore the fact that they have to do this work to help us. And we're bearing the brunt of it because we are stronger. And this literally came out of St. Michael channeling from my child's voice, who's an innocent child and doesn't even know necessarily the adult dynamic of the interactions that have happened between men and women in this world. Even in the job place, you guys. In the workplace, everything I'm saying applies in every kind of way. It's just I'm using relationships as an example of a way to teach this, but like this could be anywhere, okay? If you're at work, okay, I'm gonna use an example, okay, and you run like a corporate business, and you have a staff of 20 women and 20 men, okay, and all those people are working, doing their job, doing a great job. I'm not picking on anybody here, but when that workday ends, that woman keeps going. She gets no rest. And during that entire time at work and at home, she also never stopped spiritually cleansing and aligning and tuning the entire freaking world. Okay? And this is what women are facing. We're facing telling our truth, coming into the power of speaking up when it is unpopular. Okay? Speaking up to our husbands, speaking up to our employers, speaking up to anyone who would silence the feminine voice. Okay? And saying to anyone, hey, if you love us, then stand up for us. And the way we are asking you to do this is to go inside and start healing your inner stuff, okay? And if you looked at it like, how did St. Michael say it this morning? He said the men are avoiding the work because they know that it's painful. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, it is. Sorry guys, I gotta crank my vehicle. It's freaking painful, it is. But the reason why it is so bad for women right now is because we aren't being 100% accompanied by our men. Okay, whether that be our male friends, you know, in some cases, maybe adult grown male children, you know, husbands, fathers. So much father wounding in this world, so much abandonment in this world, so many situations of fathers just walking away from their children, okay? So there's this major issue with the men, okay? Now, I say this in a lot of my messages because it's true. The man in this world has been oppressed, as has the woman, okay? So the story here and the lies and the entanglements and all the stuff, you guys, you know, it's happened to everybody. So I'm not saying that men haven't gone through their hell. They have, okay? They seriously have. It's just that what they're avoiding right now is the process of starting to fix it and to heal it, okay? And you know, if I could say anything to encourage you guys to start doing the spiritual work to heal and awaken and face these things, I would say to you that the women will stand beside you. Okay, your female friends, your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your spouse, if it's your spouse, whatever the relationship dynamic is, there are good women who will stand beside you during this, okay? And I'm being called to mention this one page. There's a girl, she's on TikTok, and she's a sky watcher like me, and she posts orbs and things like that. I'm gonna tag her in this. And she has fibromyalgia, okay, chronic nerve pain from head to toe, multiple surgeries on her body to get through this. She's technically considered medically disabled, okay, raising 3 children, and she's married. I don't know anything about her personal life. This is just what I, 222 as I said that, but this is just what she's said on her public platform. And this woman is so special and sweet, and you can just tell she's so kind, so loving, so true. And she gets on live at night just so people can have connection. And it may just be a few people there. And her whole message the whole time she's there is, you can do this, you're not alone, don't give up. So if that's not divine, I don't know what is. This woman is sitting here almost unable to function. And she is still sharing love. Okay? I'm getting a glimpse. I'm sorry. Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, and Mary Magdalene are showing me something. They're showing me these men that are like fascinated with the material world, like their flashy cars or their flashy stuff or whatever. It's somebody with like kind of they're consumed, and like greed is what they're calling it. Not that there's anything wrong with having something nice. It's really more like the energy behind it is a distortion. So they're pushing and pushing and pushing for more. And meanwhile, the women of the world are breaking. Now, I know the female energy so well. I know we will not back down. I know we will come through this. I know we have done it many times. I know we are the warriors, okay? I know we are the soldiers. I know we are the pillars. I know we are the central nucleus of the family, okay? I know this. But it is not right to continue to expect women to do all the work, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and not carry your own weight. Whether this is in the family and friendships, work situations, or whatever. 1414, as I said that, okay? So if this message triggers you, I would say to you, then I'm doing my job. I'm making you stop and think about it, okay? And you know, there are so many things available now to help you spiritually awaken. Oh my God, just the whole social media platform on every level and every page is being flooded with teachers and channelers and yoga practitioners and all the things. And every single one of them is necessary. 444, as I said that. I hope we have more. I hope we flood the industry. Okay. The stuff is there is my point. You can go to YouTube, probably TikTok too, and find free already pre-recorded yoga lessons, meditation lessons, beautiful music. The stuff is there, guys. So you can't even say that you don't have the money for it. And don't tell me you don't have the time for it either, because seriously, what are you doing when you get off of work? Okay. If you're working 2 and 3 jobs, then okay. But most are not. And even if you are, this leads to another message I was going to record later. But, when I worked a conventional job before I opened my own business, and I still worked for others, I still could take that work and make it sacred. I still made that work all day long about love and what mattered and helping people. Okay. And even focusing my mind, like if I did a facial, okay, for example, because I'm a licensed esthetician, and when I would work on people like doing facials or working on their body, I would use that quiet time to focus on God and focus on myself and anything I needed to work on, while your patient's just sleeping. Okay, they're sleeping, they're just enjoying their treatment. Okay, so anything you do, whether it's physical labor or if you're outside, I think about this when I see the guys come through the subdivision, like the people that pick up the trash, and they're riding around on the back of the truck all day, and it's such hard work. And I always say a prayer for these guys when I see them, because I'm like, oh my God, I just feel like it's hot, it's messy, it's smelly and dangerous, because they're on the back of a truck and most people don't pay attention when they're driving. But depending on their perspective, they could feel like, I'm in the sunshine, I have freedom, I can run and move my body and get that energy out. So there's light and dark and everything, remember that. But if you are working so hard that you don't have time to dedicate 20 minutes to facing yourself, or getting a therapist and talking to someone, or just beginning in whatever way works for you, then try to make use of the time when you're at work. Just because you're doing a job doesn't mean your mind has to be fully occupied by, putting labels on things or whatever you're doing. Okay. Think about what you need. And this ultimately leads to your liberation. This leads to so many good things. Okay. 1717. That's a very powerful number. So what I'm saying to you is going to liberate you guys. Okay. And we love you. We love men. We love the men of the world, you guys. We love you, but come on. Okay. And I'm not even saying this from there are so many ways this little onion could be peeled. Okay. I am not even saying this from a political standpoint. I am saying this, I'm not even political at all. I really don't care, because I think it's all a bunch of mess. But anyway, I'm talking about your individual relationships are a reflection of the bigger picture that is completely distorted. Okay. And if you love the women in your life in any kind of way, if you think we're beautiful, if you think we're magical, if you think we're creative, if you think that we're good homemakers, if you think we're good friends, if you think we're anything at all, then come on, guys, soldier up and start doing the spiritual work to awaken. And stop putting it off, because everybody else is paying the price. I can tell you that. If a mother gets up in the morning like I did and could barely function, and I'm still trying to get it done to help my family, and I have to hear from my young child talking to Saint Michael, to Archangel Michael, tell me this is an attack, satanic attack on women, and the men are benefiting from it because they don't want to do the work to awake. But your job is to awaken. That's your primary job. Souls come here for that. That's why souls come to earth, to awaken. Okay. So you came here to awaken, but then what happened is it's easier not to. Okay. But remember, everyone pays the price for ignorance. Okay. This will affect your life. That is truth. The more you put this off, the more you will be dealing with. And also, you're not authentically yourself until you find yourself spiritually. You don't know sovereignty until you crack this code. So if you feel oppressed and tired and you're overworked, and so overworked that you don't have time to meditate, if that's your story, man, whoever hears this that feels they're too pushed to do the spiritual work, okay? What I'm saying should give you the fire that you need to do it, okay? Because the reason you're tired is the oppressive enslavement system that was implemented in Earth realm. The thing we came to overturn, okay? And the way we overturn it is facing our inner wounding, all the little coded messages that were put in our DNA from God, okay? Those are the stories we're meant to remember. This is the work we're meant to do, okay? And that looks different for everybody. You do not have to do it my way. You don't have to do it somebody else's way. You can do it your way, but please start, okay? Go outside and stare at the sun. Watch the sunset and sit still for 5 minutes. I think that counts. And I think that's easy enough for most people to do. Okay? Watch the moon. Stargaze. Go talk to a tree. Acknowledge nature. Acknowledge the feminine energy. Be thankful you were born. That even if you had a terrible mother, which, by the way, in her defense, she was probably broken down to the core, okay? But even if you had a terrible mother, here you are, born on this planet, okay? If there is any fragment of gratitude for that, go with it, okay? Hang on to that little bit of light and rise. This is how you alchemize. This is how you alchemize. And if we are all warriors for God, if we are all warriors for light, and we are all warriors for truth, and we stand with the Holy Spirit, and we stand with Mother Earth, and we stand with women, okay, it's going to work. And I've seen 4 visions of this. I've seen prophetic visions of this. But you got to help out, okay? You can't expect your wife to do everything. You can't expect all the women in the world to go through this grief of spiritually awakening and you not do it too. That's not how it works, okay? You have to do it with us. And my own little bitty male children lovingly showed me they're willing. These little children, you guys. Little children. This is why God said, be like a child. Be like a child. They're willing, they're innocent, they're pure, they love. They saw their mother suffering and they did something. I don't know what else I could say about that. And I'm just, oh my gosh. And so when my son was channeling Archangel Michael and I asked Michael, I said, do I have permission to share this? He said, yes, but with discernment, 222, as I said that, because he said, oh my God, here we go. There is something, I don't know what it's exactly called, okay? It is an ingredient, I'm going to say that is being put in things that is targeting women's bodies. Okay, so I don't know what it's being put in entirely. 2244, as I said, that could be the air, could be the food, could be things you take through the mouth. Okay, I'm just trying to be very careful what I say here. Something's being put out, purposely attacking the female body. Okay, so this is a call to action. Okay, for him to tell me you have permission to say this, say it, but with caution. Okay, because that's how bad it is. That's how much this crap is happening, and with intention to try to silence the wisdom of the womb keepers of this planet. And I asked my son, I said, is this what happened to Yaya, my mother-in-law? Because she had chronic pain for 30 years, minimally. And Michael said, yes, she was special. I knew she was, but I mean, I don't want to cry, so I'm not going to get into that long message on this particular recording, but she was a special woman, very connected to God. And she suffered. But she kept going, you guys. She did not give up. She lived her life, okay? And even to the last, we have little videos of her dancing, just little bitty movements. She couldn't do like a whole lot, because she was in so much pain. But to think that that was all dark energy coming after her light. And that it could stop if the men awaken with us. That we could get this done faster if you guys get on board, okay? And I know many of you are. Many of the followers on my page are men sharing what they're seeing in the skies, sharing what they're seeing in their daily lives, that you are. There's a guy on here sharing about corruption in the medical system I've seen. There's a guy sharing, I see lots of men doing this work. I do, okay? So I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying, in general, according to St. Michael, who is a masculine energy, okay, said the men are putting this off in general because it's painful. Okay? Allowing the women to take the brunt of the hit of this attack. What the frick? I'm sorry. I'm just like, so I had to sit with that for a minute. I don't know. I may have to go sit in my backyard and cry today. But anyway. So here I am. I'm going to say what St. Michael said, and I said it. So you can do what you want with that. Ladies, okay. If there are men in your life that you love that are not getting the point, you cannot make them do the spiritual work. You can't. But what you can do is speak up for yourself, okay? If you're tired, if you don't feel well, if your body is worn out, I'm sorry. You don't do the dishes. Go lay down. He'll figure it out. Okay? And yeah, ask your children. Especially, look what my children did. They helped me. They both came up there and helped me, and they took over the responsibilities of the puppy for so I could rest for a minute. You guys, men are powerful, special, incredible, and they have been fighting for so long. Maybe they're tired too. Maybe you guys are tired, okay? But nevertheless, we got to do this, okay? So please, please start meditating. Start giving yourself grounding and connecting time. Talk to your friends. Talk to your loved ones about how you feel. Start sharing your emotions. I made a post earlier this year because we lost a dear friend of ours to suicide. And he was a wonderful man. He was an amazing father and husband and a pillar in the community. He couldn't face the stuff inside, the pain. So it's totally understandable, guys, that sometimes we don't want to do this work. This is why I urge people to get a professional therapist or talk to really a professional, because sometimes you need support as you heal, because it can be painful. It can be terrible. Okay. But to allow just one side of humanity to deal with the brunt of this and not take your place alongside us, like, let's do this together. That's not right either, okay? If we do this, guys, it's really going to work. I feel it. It's going to work. So I hope that this message comes through as a message of love. I hope that somebody needed to hear this. I know that the people dealing with chronic pain, and some of you dealing with chronic pain may be men, in fact, okay? But this message, according to St. Michael, was first for the women, okay? The women. The women who were, while they were pregnant, working full time, cooking, cleaning the house, okay? And dealing with whatever their spouse needed. This is what women do, okay? My grandmother, I'm being called to tell this, my mother's mother went to college on a basketball and mathematics scholarship. She's very smart. My grandmother's extremely smart. But of course, this was the 1940s. You think she was going to have a job? No. Nobody's going to give her a job even though she had a degree, okay? Goes to work on a farm because that's all they would let her do because she was a woman. And she tells me the story that she was pregnant with my aunt while my mom was a toddler, and she was picking cotton with a sack of cloth on her back to put cotton in, and my aunt in her belly, and my mother, a toddler, behind her in the garden. And she turned around and my mother had thrown out all the cotton onto the ground because she was a kid. This is what I'm freaking talking about. No offense to my grandfather, who I love, who's in heaven now. He went to work and just went to work. Okay? She went to work with a baby in her belly and one on her back in the hot sun. Nobody gave a frickin' frick. We don't see the distortion. So if you think I'm being biased, sorry, I'm not, okay? When you come from stories of women like that, and I myself have run a freaking full-time 6-day-a-week business pregnant and still taking care of my home, I'm not being biased. I'm being honest. I'm being honest about what it means to be a strong woman, okay? And we are ready. We are ready, and we want the men to rise. 29:29, as I said that. So come on, guys, come on. Do I need to bring my grandma out here? Let her talk about having 7 children, taking care of all of them. And eventually she did open a business, by the way, after she raised her children. Okay, these are the kind of women I'm talking about. And yeah, I don't know what else I can say. Maybe there's nothing else I can say. But here's the message. St. Michael says it. Get up. Come on. Guys, wake up. We need you to do it. And for those of you who already are, thank you. Thank you. I love you. Come on. Let's keep going. Let's wake up. I've been getting some calls. I've been getting some calls from men who are ready. There are some incredible men waking up. Okay. And I've done some incredible sessions on my husband as well. There are really good men here. Okay. I have a really good friend who's a psychic channel. Well, he's really a psychic tarot reader and hypnosis practitioner, but I think he's going to be a channeler too because he's very gifted that way. But anyway, so many guys are doing this, but many, many, many more need to. It's time, okay? So please start speaking up. Speak up. We're gonna change this world, but we gotta face ourselves, okay? I love you all. I'm on fire today. I don't know what else to tell you. Love you.